All right, we're joined by Rapids head coach Chris Armas. We'll start off with his general thoughts on the match ahead, then open up to questions.
Yeah, another great test for us to go to Seattle against a team that we obviously have all the respect in the world for because of what they've done, because of who they are, the way they play, the culture that they have built. In many ways, I look to that team, and when I think about trying to build something here, something that's sustainable. So, yeah, we love the challenge against a team that's coming together. So guys are getting healthy. Jordan Morris back in, and in this battle in the Western Conference, every game's big for us. So, yeah, we're excited for tomorrow night.
Coach, last match we kind of saw the vindication of the process. All that creation that was yet to get on the scoreboard seemed to come out in bunches. Could have been way more. Do you feel like that's going to be momentum you carry into Seattle?
It can be. You know, it's what it ends up being is a night where we create chances, we score chances that were created, we defend the goal with pride. We didn't have many moments where we gave it away. So it's that combination of taking care of both ends of the pitch. So New England wasn't a problem scoring. It was, some of the other stuff. So, yeah, it's learning and growing, and what we talk about is the consistency and striving for the complete performance.
And again on Saturday, having Cole and Connor kind of felt like that old adage of the best defense is a good offense. Being on the accelerator, those guys keeping the ball and distributing out the double pivot. Are we going to see that again?
Yeah, look, we have a plane ride to just kind of work through that part of the pitch. It's where we're very, very deep, we think, with Oliver, Wayne Frederick coming back, and then, of course, Josh Atencio. So we thought that Connor and Cole were very good in this past game, and we thought that the overall performance of the team was good. Obviously, Seattle poses a certain challenge. We got to think closely about how we line up there, but we're not decided yet.
Coach, last game before the transfer deadline, everyone knows the business of men coming and going. This might be the last time we see a few Rapids in Burgundy. Can you talk about the human side of sharing these teams and these times with players' lives?
Listen, we talk a lot about the human side of this whole thing, what it's all about, which then means we talk a lot about our fans. We talk a lot about the human sides, and then we talk about the relationships that are, nurtured and once guys step in that door. That's players to coaches, coaches to coaches, coaches to other staff members, and we don't take that lightly. That it can be fleeting moments at times, are moments and privilege to influence these guys. So inevitably, I think if I'm doing my job right, you get to know the person behind the footballer, which makes it such a blessing to be in this position. It all does also make it difficult at times, but we often don't focus on that side of it. When guys leave, it's part of it, and we hope that we've touched each other's lives in a way that we remember each other along the way and stay in touch the whole bit. So, yeah, we try to appreciate what we're doing in real time. Again, that's talked about deliberately around here, because through good times and bad times, it's always the best when you're going through it with guys left and right of you, and you're in it together.
Do you notice anything extra, say, when Lawless or Diego has come back to Commerce City, or tomorrow when Josh will go back to Seattle? Does that become more of an occasion for the players?
It always does. Listen, even Diego Rubio, when we played Austin last year, and I didn't even know the player, but I talked to the player, and it was just a nice exchange. A lot of respect for him and what he did for this club. And you get to see these little things happen along the way. For Lawless, we stay in touch. I know him very well, and he's such a lovely human being. I hope to always have him in my life. So when you go back, and it's part of the fun to battle against your old teammates and old players that you've coached, and it's always a little bit of extra special. So for guys like Josh, a little bit of homecoming, getting back there, and I'm sure he'll relish in that opportunity.
And then lastly, tactics. What are we looking out for against Seattle, and what are we looking to exploit?
Well, if Brian's listening, the head coach of the Seattle Sounders. We're not going to say too much there, honestly. But Listen, I think there's no secret. They're good at home. They attack in many ways the way we try to attack. But when you talk about tactics, before you have to start talking about who they have. You know, when you have Jordan Morris and Jesus Ferreira and Rusnak and Christian and Alex the rolled ends, and the list goes on with Vargas and so many of these guys. It's for me a star-studded team made up of winners. So that's a big challenge in itself. I think we have to figure out how to stop some of the key players, part of the tactic, and then understand which spaces they try to get into. We know that. Everyone knows Jordan Morris. He loves running behind, and it's a big part of what they do. They can occupy the 5 spots on our back line. So the tough thing about Seattle is there's not one thing that they do. They're good at a lot of things in attack, but if we can nullify their attack, we maybe can create some chances from this and try to challenge them in some ways that we have in mind. So, yeah, we respect what they're doing so much. We really look forward to this test.
Because you mentioned Brian, do you ever engage in some pregame banter with the other team's coaches?
My when they come to our town, we send a bottle of wine to their locker room with a handwritten note and saying, "Welcome to Colorado. We look forward to the competition." So, no, I don't have a game within the game against other coaches. It's oftentimes I'm meeting someone or reconnecting with someone that I highly respect. I'm sure I've stole some of their ways of doing things and the way their teams play. I admire the other coaches in this league, so it's always out of respect, and we love the competition.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.